And here we are this morning from Sola Vida here in Central Florida. Oh, and there they hear their little doggy friends. There they go. Yeah, there they are. It's a beautiful morning. A little bit later than what I wanted it to be. I slept a little bit, but I didn't get much sleep last night. So, I just wanted to say hi this morning. It's Saturday. And I'm going to attempt today to make some corned beef and cabbage in the Instant Pot. So, until then, I'm wishing you a good day. See ya in the kitchen. Well, good morning. My name is Melody, and today we're going to do an absolutely phenomenal dish that really nobody's going to believe is that phenomenal, but it is. It's a Southern inspired ham and cabbage dinner. Cabbage is one of the forgotten vegetables or overlooked vegetables that probably is a king of vegetables. It's great for health benefits. It's an anti-inflammatory. This dish, for example, with everything that I've got going in here, is 122 calories per serving. You can eat this until you're rolling on the floor too full, and it'll still be good for you. In past years, instead of chicken soup, it was cabbage soup. A lot of people only go to the cabbage when it comes to coleslaw, but you really need to start looking into the benefits of cabbage while adding them to soups, while doing basic dishes. I was going to do, for instance, corned beef and cabbage, and then I realized, well, the corned beef is, it is so not good for you. So I started doing a little bit more research on just exactly what is keto friendly. And I discovered, to my surprise, that a pork loin, and I usually do buy pork loins, it's one of the red meats slash, what they say, white meat, that I buy to go into a lot of my dishes. Because there's no preservatives, it's it's none of that shelf stable and all this other stuff that you get with a lot of the other meats, especially at the deli. Stay away from that. So what we did, I always get pork loins, and then I take and cut them in thirds. They're only, I would say, about a foot long. I cut them in thirds, and then I break them up, and I use them in a multiple array of dishes. So that's what we're using in this cabbage. It's ham and cabbage. We've got potatoes. I've got a poblano, an onion, and a carrot that's going in there, and just a few seasonings. Now I cooked my pork loin, the little third piece, in the pressure cooker, and I put 2 cups of water in there, and that's it. And I just put it under pressure for 30 minutes. And when it was done, it was done after 30 minutes, I took it out and I broke it up. Oh, it's just like this. Just like you would do like stir fry, which I do often with these anyway. But the water that I cooked the pork loin in, I'm repurposing the 2 cups, and I up the ante on it by adding a teaspoon of chicken bouillon. And you can use anything you want, tomato bouillon, beef bouillon, your choice. So, let me get on with this. So what we're going to do is, we've got a 1/4 cup of butter and a tablespoon of garlic. I'm going to put this in there now under the saute function of my pressure cooker and get that going, get that started. Going. Something to scrape that out with. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I was really surprised. I wasn't aware of, because I really don't look into like the keto dishes, but I think I'm going to start doing that. Extremely interesting as far as, the ketosis, or however you pronounce that. So what they want us to do, according to the recipe, is you want to get your butter and your garlic in there and get that working a little bit. Hey Rosie, what are you doing? I think you want a treat. You want a treat? You want a treat? Gotta give Rosie a treat. It's a beautiful day here in Florida. Got up a little bit later than I wanted to. Come here, Rosie. Here, come on. There you go. Rosie's doing a lot better on her diet. She's even on her own form of keto diet, the Science Diet ID, like that. Okay, so what they want us to do now, since this is melted down, I hope you like this new angle. At least you can see me instead of my stomach while I'm cooking. I don't want you to look at my stomach. I have enough problems with it. We're going to take, this is a head of cabbage that I cubed, and not too small. You don't want it to disappear when it's cooking, because it's going to, shrink down anyway. So we want to get this in there, and you're not going to believe how long this is going to take. You're going to set the timer for 4 minutes. Yes. So we want to run this around, get everything covered and coated with our garlic and our butter. Now garlic and butter already smells good. Now you do not have to use butter either. You can use olive oil, coconut oil. I'm just trying to follow this recipe a little bit closer to what it calls for, because this is really the first time I've ever done this particular recipe. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to put my pork in there. Like I said, this is like 1/3 of a loin, which is, I'm going to say, if I had to guesstimate, I'm going to say this is probably about 12 ounces, 15 ounces. So let's get rid of that. Let's get that in there. Now it's starting to do a little bit of sauteing. Now the recipe didn't necessarily call for the poblano pepper. Since I've been in Florida, I have literally fallen in love with poblanos instead of just regular bell peppers. They didn't call for that. They didn't call for the carrots. But I had extra carrots in there, and I love carrots in the pressure cooker. So what we're going to do, we're going to add our poblano peppers, that's 1 pepper, 2 small white potatoes that have the skin on. And I know everybody knows this, but vitamins are generally in the skin vegetables, so you want to try to keep those on as many as you can. Some can. Carrots, same thing. I did wash these up pretty good. And then, I'm going to say this is like a large onion. I just went ahead and used it. It was the last onion out of a really bad bag that I got from Kroger's, which wasn't their fault. All the onions are great, but when I cut into them, they were all just really bad. So let's give this another stir. I'm so glad that you stopped in to spend some time with me. If you're new, I just want to let you know I'm new too. I'm still learning the ins and outs of YouTube. I'm struggling still with the editing. My daughter Gwen did purchase me a new phone/vlogging camera, which we have a family plan with T-Mobile, and we actually, if I turn my 12-year-old phone in, we got a $200 credit. So, that worked out for us. I just hate getting new phones and stuff. It takes me so long to learn something. Technology and I do not go along. I was a hairstylist for many years. That was my forte back in the day, in the 70s and 80s. And then after I got married, I purchased a franchise, a restaurant franchise, and that's where I had my children, they were raised and worked in up until they were teenagers. But yeah, so that's where my love of cooking came from. Working around food, creating new food, not new foods, but new recipes. So let's get our potatoes in there now. And we'll pick up the chopping board and put everything in there, huh? Just a little at a time. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this video to you or not, but last night I got up and I started a pot of yogurt in my bread machine. So that's not done yet. It won't be done until this afternoon because it's supposed to be in there for 8 hours, and I let it sit for 4. And then I strain it and put it in the refrigerator for another 12 hours. Sounds like a lengthy process, but once you get into it, it's like second nature. It's just like anything else. Okay, now what I'm going to do, while I looked up the spices that complement cabbage, one of the spices is dill. So I have some dill weed that I'm going to just sprinkle in there. Not much, just a little bit, maybe a quarter of a teaspoon even, if that. Hey, Rosie. And I'm going to put in here. Let me get my measurements here. I'm going to put in here. This is 1/4 of a teaspoon of sugar. Don't know why. It's like the recipe calls for. We'll find out. And another spice that I came across by watching some cooking channels that evidently, I don't know if they're new, but it's called Badia, B-A-D-I-A, and it's called Complete Seasoning. I tasted it. It tastes pretty good. So we're going to give that a try today. We're going to put a tablespoon. It calls for a tablespoon of, it calls for 2 teaspoons of salt. Let me put teaspoons in here. I don't want to over-season this at this point. Okay, so it smells awesome. Okay, so let's recap. Onion overboard. Okay, we've got our ham in here. Got a 1/4 cup of butter. We've got our 1/4 cup of powdered garlic. We've got a medium head of cabbage cubed and our broth. Like I said, it calls for chicken broth, but this is what I cooked the pork in this morning. 2 cups of water, and then I added some chicken bouillon to it just to amp up the flavor. I never put just regular water in anything. Let me stir this up a little bit before I add this. You don't need a lot, but this is making quite a bit. And it's really a pretty dish. I'm going to make cornbread to go with it. Okay. Let me show it to you. Can you see that? Okay, so let's stir this up. Put that in there. And here we go. And that's done. You gotta excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're gonna put this on here. Let's see. And I'm gonna put it under pressure, sealed. Okay, so it's sealed. We're going to put it under pressure for 4 minutes. So all I'm going to do is manual pressure select and back it up to 4 minutes. Unbelievable, huh? Okay, and then what we do, according to the recipe, let me read this to you. It says that, and this is an old recipe. This is back before they even had Instant Pots. They're talking about this pressure cooker that you used to put on your stove, and it had a little jiggly thing on top, the weight. So it's saying that when the cooker reaches full pressure, lower temperature until the regulator is gently rocking. And it says cook for 3 minutes. And all that means is once this comes to pressure, we're going to cook it for it says 3 to 4 minutes. We're going to cook it for 4 minutes. So I do have the potatoes and stuff in here. And then after it cooks for the 3 minutes, you remove the cooker from heat, meaning taking it off the stove, which we don't do anymore. And then you release the pressure carefully using the quick release. So we're not going to have any downtime with this. When the 4 minutes is up, we're just going to quick release, and once that's done, take the lid off, dinner's ready. But we're making cornbread. I should have made that first, but I didn't. Okay. So there you have it. When this all gets done, I'm going to bring you back and we'll eat. I think Sam will be happy. Gotta walk over here and turn this down for you. Okay, I'll see you in a minute, guys. Okay. Our dinner is ready. 4 minutes. I quick released it. I've done that about a minute ago. I haven't even had time to put my cornbread together. So, if you're going to do this and you're going to make your cornbread or a side or whatever you're going to do to go with this, do that first because this takes literally no time. Let me show this to you. See my glasses. I did taste it, and let me tell you something. It's awesome. I wouldn't change a thing. But I mean, you can put anything you want in here. Can you see that? It is absolutely beautiful. Okay, I've got the Instapot. Well, this is a Hamilton Beach, but I've got the pressure cooker on keep warm. So we're just going to put my little lid on there and set it to the side because we're going to make our cornbread. And I am just using a little Jiffy mix. I like Jiffy for times like this. The majority of the time, to be quite honest with you, I do use a regular cornmeal recipe from ground cornmeal, flour, sugar, eggs, and all that kind of stuff. But today, it's Saturday. Sam's doing some work out in the garage. There's some things I want to do here in the house. I want to spend some time with the dogs. And so Jiffy comes in loud and clear. So, this is the way I make Jiffy as the egg rolls away. So, it calls for a third cup of milk. Well, I use buttermilk, and I use just a tad bit more milk, buttermilk, because of the consistency is just so thick. And then, yes, I make everything a little bit different. I like to make things my own. And then I put about 2 tablespoons of a plain Greek yogurt in here. And so what I'm going to do is mix my egg into the liquid. This is a good habit to get into, is to keep your liquid and your dry apart and then mix them together all at one time. So that's done. I've got 2 scallions, green onions, chopped, I'm going to put in there. Now you can put bell peppers, jalapeno, corn. Cornbread is just so, you can do anything. It's like a blank canvas. Okay, so here's my Jiffy. I'm going to put this in the bowl. I'm going to add, I know it's a squirrel, Andy. Andy Squirrel is out there. Don't think I'm crazy. I've been doing this since my restaurant days with cornbread. I like sweet cornbread. My family, especially my sister, would say, no! But yeah, so instead of sugar, I use equal. I just use 5 little packs of equal. Put it in there. I try to cut sugar and fat as much as I can wherever I can. And then I'm going to add my, you see your squirrel, Andy? My scallion. Look at that little squirrel. Isn't he cute? That's Fred. Andy's squirrel's name is Fred. I have a picture of him on a couple of videos. So you're going to mix that in for good. And then I'm going to add my mixture of a third cup of buttermilk, you know, maybe a tablespoon more. You may what you'll add more once you get in here because of the consistency. And then it's 2 tablespoons of a plain Greek yogurt and the egg. And I have a friend who just adds cream corn to her Jiffy mix. That's it, and it comes out really good. I'm not real a big fan of cream corn. I don't keep it in the house very often. Just, you know, just a preference. Never got in the habit of having it. Now, one tip with any kind of quick breads, mixes, doughs, you do not want to handle like your cake mixes and stuff like that. Once the flour goes in, just handle it as little as possible. It makes it tough otherwise. And I had a little bit of cheese left over. This is the taco cheese blend. I'm just going to put that in there just to use it up. I can't imagine it just sitting in that refrigerator until one day I'm going to go in there and I'm going to say, oh, I got to throw that away. I hate doing that. Okay, give that a quick mix. My oven is set on 400 degrees. I'm going to tell Alexa to set it for 15 minutes and then we're going to check it. Every oven is different. So when you see a recipe and it calls for a certain amount of time, know your oven. That's the biggest downfall of any recipe is time and temperature. Okay. Oh, oops. Oh boy. My arm. My sister asked me the other day, she said, what is all over your arm? I've got bruises here, burns here. This is a bad arm. And it has a mind of its own sometimes. You can tell, like, I don't have an elbow. I can do certain jobs with it, but I can't, like, lift it and pick up things with it. And so when I try, I end up hurting myself. So, long story, but we're not going to get into that. So, here's our cornbread. We're going to put it in the oven. I'll tell Alexa, Alexa, set timer for 15 minutes. Okay, so dinner's pretty in 15 minutes. We're going to have dinner. So I'm going to close out right now. Let the cornbread get done. Clean up my dishes and the counter, and I'll have you back in the kitchen then, and we can eat. And maybe, just maybe, once I check my yogurt, maybe that yogurt will be good enough that I can show it to you and make some sense out of it. So in the meantime, I'll see you later. Okay, well, I'm waiting for Sam to get cleaned up from working on these tabletops for me. He's refinishing a few tabletops that we have in the house that are getting a little rough. I want to show you some of the artwork that we have in the house that you haven't seen yet. Let me turn this around so you can see in the kitchen what I have. That picture, it's oil painting. We bought that in Oxford, Pennsylvania about 50 years ago. And it's huge. Let me stand back so you can get a better idea of what it looks, how big it is. It's really pretty. Very, very pretty. And some of these that I have on top in my kitchen, I can't even reach up there, it's so tall. It's kind of kitchen themed, you know, dining themed. And then you just go around. This is a very, very pretty picture. These are all, that's a watercolor, and that's a watercolor. Let me show you a few that I have in the hallway going back into the garage. Now, I don't know if you saw these or not. This is in my dining room. These are all oils. I love this one. I love that one too. And then this one came out of a hotel up in Pennsylvania many, many, many years ago. I couldn't even tell you how long it's been. So, I think I showed this one to you, didn't I? This beach scene. It's also an oil. So I'm going to take you in my bedroom and show you some of those. I just don't have enough wall space. Don't look at my messy bedroom. I know. Okay. Here's some of these. Not, you know, it's like the tree of life look. Just beautiful. Gwen took some of these pictures and we framed them. This is a scene. We've had this picture for many, many, many years. That's an oil. This is a watercolor. It's huge too. It's absolutely humongous. Look at that. And then right below it is this beautiful scene. It's a watercolor. This is, Gwen took this. We framed it. Isn't that beautiful? Just stunning. And then this picture that I have over my bed takes up most of the wall. Can you make that out? Can you see how huge that is? It's as big as the bed. And then this one is probably one of my favorites. It's a wolf also shall dwell within. Lamb and leopard shall lie down with a kid together, and a little child shall lead them. Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? And then this one, that's also old, probably 60 years old. And then this one is also an oil painting we dug out of an old farmer's farming place, farming equipment. I can't even talk. But yeah, that's just some more of some of the artwork we have. We have more too. I'll show later. Okay, let's get back to. Okay, well, Sam is not home yet. He's stuck in traffic. He's been refinishing some of our antique tables at the tops where they've just been scuffed up over the years. He's been using it. Bondies, I think it is. Really doing a fantastic job. Actually, I'll show you the top of the one he did yesterday. But he is stuck in traffic on his way back from Lowe's. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this film out, this video. Everything is done and turned out great. I just wanted to show you. There's your cabbage, pork, carrots, and potatoes. It's really yummy. And our beautiful Jiffy Cornbread with scallions, some yogurt, and what else did I put on? Buttermilk. So, let me get a taste of my bread. I really like Jiffy Cornbread. It's good. Do yourself a favor and try this. This is a 10-minute meal. Well, actually it's a 15-minute meal with the cornbread, because this cabbage and all the vegetables I put in it only took 4 minutes. The next time I do this though, I'm going to do it for 3. Because I want a little bit better bite in my vegetables. But this is still very good. But give it a try. So I want to show you that table. Rosie and Andy, they just ate too. So let me show you this table. Hold on a minute. Let me turn you around. There you go. It's Fromby's. Fromby. Look at this table. That was really scuffed up bad. Can you see that? He did the whole thing. And let me see. Let me take this little doily. Look at that. This table is over 70 years old, I think. We're just trying to figure out, because it was his brother-in-law's mother and she's been gone for some time. It's been all over the place because they've had it for many years, I'm sure. But it's really pretty. And he did this one over here yesterday as well. The tabletop on this one, look at that. That was really messed up. In our move, it got wet and we didn't know it. And it stayed packed in a moving van for a week. And it was all messed up. And he fixed it really nice. He did the whole thing too, see? Okay. I want to wish everybody health, and just please take care of yourself, your family, your friends, and your loved ones. And don't forget to check in on your neighbors, because you never know what's going on behind closed doors, when somebody might need you, and in return, one day you might need them. So with that being said, I want to wish you a good day,